4.5 billion years ago, there was no blue planet, no oceans, no forests, no forests. No. Life, only a violent newborn world. Drifting through the darkness of space, a young sun burned fiercely in the distance, while debris from countless cosmic collisions spiraled around it. Out of that chaos, a molten sphere slowly began to form. That sphere would one day become the home of every creature that has ever lived, including you. But the Earth you know today was not always peaceful and blue. In the beginning was hell. The surface was a boiling ocean of lava. Volcanoes erupted endlessly, throwing fire and ash into a toxic sky. Massive asteroids slammed into the planet again and again, each impact powerful enough to melt continents that had barely begun to form. For millions of years, Earth was under constant bombardment. The planet was reshaped over and over, its surface never able to rest. Yet every collision, every eruption, every violent moment was quietly building the foundation of the world. We know today, then something extraordinary happened. A massive object, nearly the size of Mars, crashed into the young Earth with unimaginable force. The impact was so violent that molten rock blasted into space, forming a glowing ring of debris around the planet. Over time, that debris slowly gathered together, and from that cosmic wreckage, the moon was born. Its arrival changed everything. The moon stabilized Earth's wobbling spin and created powerful tides that would one day shape the oceans. Without it, life on this planet might never have survived. Slowly, the young planet began to cool. Volcanoes continued to roar, but the surface hardened into the first primitive crust. Steam from countless eruptions filled the atmosphere. For millions of years, thick clouds wrapped the planet in darkness. Then the rain began. Not a gentle rain, a rain that lasted for thousands of years. Water poured from the sky as the planet cooled, filling deep basins across the surface. Gradually, the first oceans formed, covering most of the planet, and in those silent, dark waters, something remarkable was about to begin. Somewhere within those ancient oceans, simple chemical molecules began interacting in strange and complex ways. Tiny structures formed. Primitive membranes appeared. Energy began to flow through microscopic systems. Then quietly, life emerged. The first living organisms were incredibly simple. Tiny, single-celled microbes drifting through the ocean. They had no eyes, no brains, no bones, but they possessed something far more powerful: the ability to survive. For billions of years, these microscopic pioneers dominated the planet, slowly evolving, adapting, and reshaping the chemistry of Earth's oceans and atmosphere. Then one tiny organism changed everything forever. Certain bacteria developed the ability to capture sunlight and use it to produce energy. In the process, they released a new gas into the atmosphere: oxygen. At first, oxygen was toxic to most life forms on Earth. Entire populations of ancient microbes vanished as the atmosphere slowly transformed. But evolution never stops. Some organisms adapted, and those that adapted unlocked something extraordinary. With oxygen, cells could produce far more energy than ever before. That extra energy allowed life to grow more complex. Cells began working together. Simple organisms joined forces to create larger, more advanced life forms. After billions of years of microscopic life, the oceans were finally ready for something new. Suddenly, in evolutionary terms, life exploded into diversity. Strange creatures filled the ancient seas: soft-bodied organisms, primitive predators, and bizarre animals unlike anything that exists today. This moment is known as the Cambrian explosion. When life rapidly diversified across the planet, creatures developed shells, eyes, limbs, and complex bodies. For the first time in Earth's history, ecosystems began to take shape. But evolution wasn't finished yet. Life had conquered the oceans, but an entirely new world waited above the water: the land. At first, the continents were barren wastelands of rock and sand. No plants, no animals, only wind and empty silence. Then small plants began creeping onto the shorelines. Over millions of years, they spread across the continents, transforming the landscape into lush green worlds. With plants came oxygen-rich air and new food sources. Soon, insects arrived. Then amphibians crawled from the oceans onto land, beginning a new chapter in Earth's story. Forests grew taller, creatures grew larger. Eventually, reptiles evolved, perfectly adapted to life on dry land. And among them, one group would rise to dominate the planet: dinosaurs. For more than 160 million years, dinosaurs ruled Earth. Giant predators hunted across vast plains, while enormous herbivores thundered through ancient forests. Some grew taller than buildings, others ran faster than any creature before them. The world seemed to belong entirely to these incredible animals. But Earth has never promised permanence. 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid slammed into the planet near what is now the Gulf of Mexico. The impact triggered fires, earthquakes, and massive tsunamis. Dust and debris blocked sunlight for months, collapsing ecosystems across the planet. Within a relatively short time, most dinosaur species disappeared. The age of giants had ended, but extinction often creates opportunity. Small mammals that had once lived in the shadows began to spread across the world. They evolved into countless forms, filling the empty spaces left behind. Some returned to the oceans. Others learned to glide through the air, and one group began developing something remarkable: a larger brain over millions of years. These early primates evolved better vision, dexterous hands, and increasing intelligence. Eventually, a new species appeared, a species capable of asking questions about the universe itself. Humans. In an incredibly tiny fraction of Earth's history, humans built civilizations, explored continents, and developed technology powerful enough to reshape the planet. We study the rocks beneath our feet and the stars above our heads, trying to understand the long journey that brought us here. If you're fascinated by stories like this, the hidden history of our planet, and the incredible forces that shaped it, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. It helps us continue exploring the most mind-blowing stories our universe has to offer, because the story of Earth isn't just about the past, it's about understanding our place in a timeline that stretches across billions of years, from molten rock drifting through space to oceans filled with life, from microscopic cells to dinosaurs that shook the ground beneath their feet, and finally, to a species capable of looking back across time and asking how it all began. Every mountain, every ocean, every breath of air carries the legacy of this incredible journey. 4.5 billion years of evolution, all leading to this very moment. And the story is still unfolding